The value of internal motives. For example, I've seen people come to management training, not because they wanted to do a better job right now, but because they thought it was going to help them get a promotion. And you might say, well, that's a lousy reason. Well, it's better than no reason at all. It's better than someone who goes simply because they were sent. I've seen people go to sales training courses, not because they wanted to sell their company's products better, but because they were starting a little side business and they thought it would help. And you might say, well, that's terrible. Well, you know, if it helps them be better at their company job, and it causes them to be more focused in that training program because they see a personal value to themselves, why not? I've seen people go to communications training, not because they needed to communicate better on the job, but because they were having a problem talking to a son or daughter or a spouse. Well, doesn't it benefit us as an organization if that person picks up some principles from our training that helps them resolve some personal issues so that maybe they're not thinking about that when they're on the job? Because it's been my experience that if we have problems in our personal lives, we don't leave it at the door. And so that's why I think that looking at internal motives, even if people don't verbalize them, but seeing the value of that, I think helps people relax and say, you know, if that's what my takeaway is from this program, if it helps me be a better person, it also then enables me to put more energy into being a better employee. And I think there's also some loyalty to an organization that helps people accomplish things that are important in their personal lives as well as their professional lives. Then number 10, intensify interpersonal relationships. Now, some people think, okay, that means that I as a manager really have to spend a lot of time with my people, and I'm not really meaning that as much as I'm meaning help people to connect with one another. See, because as a manager, my time is limited. But if I can help people within the organization develop connections so that they feel comfortable talking to somebody in another department about a problem because somehow they've connected with that person, it makes them have many more options for how to get the help they need than to say, gee, this is the only person that I can get help from, and he is not available or she is not available, and so I guess I just have to sit here at my workplace and feel frustrated or try to figure it out on my own. So for that reason, when we conduct training programs, many times we will suggest that various departments be represented as a way to help people connect with people in other departments. By the same token, when we do team building, we suggest that we sort of build the team with everybody in the department. It's sort of hard for 4 people from the department to go to 4 different team building programs and then come back and try to function as a team. But intensify those interpersonal relationships. And then finally, number 11, give them a choice. Give them a choice. And what I mean by that is that there are many times when we give people responsibilities, but we can give them a choice on how they fulfill that responsibility. I think there are some managers who are so control-oriented that they have to plan everything down to the last detail, and they never give people a choice about how to execute it at all. And so let me just suggest to you, for example, you may have people that you feel are fairly immature and they really don't understand too much about the organization or the process that you want them to do. But there are still ways that we can delegate responsibility to them. And let me suggest to you 5 things that I found helpful in my own experience. Number 1 level of delegation, and this is sort of bonus information that I'm sort of springing on you. So level 1 delegation is collect the information, give it to me, I'll make the decision. But I can still give them a choice as to how they collect that information and say, if you need some help on resources, I can give you that. Level 2 is collect the information, give me some options, and I'll make the choice. All right, but see, there's now a little bit more involvement because that person is perhaps a little bit more experienced, a little bit more mature. They've proven themselves to you a little bit more. Level 3 is gather the information, give me the options, and then tell me what you would do, and I'll make the decision. Okay, level 4 goes one step beyond that. Gather the information, give me the options, give me your decision, and unless you hear back, implement it. And then level 5 is, here's the task, I don't need to know anything else. Just do it. But you see, so many times managers think that level 5 is what delegation is, and unless I've got somebody mature enough to do the whole thing, I can't delegate anything. I can't give people choices. Now think about these things in light of your own experience. I mean, what would it mean to you if you worked in an environment where you were given responsibility, where you were encouraged to ask questions, where you were given choices, when you were given recognition and praise and appreciation? I mean, is there anybody here that gets too much of it? You say, oh, I'm thinking about leaving this company because if I get any more praise, you know, I don't think any of us is short of it. Well, if this will help create a motivational environment for us, and some of us might be here going, boy, I wish my boss was here. You know, if your people were watching this, they might be saying exactly the same thing. Boy, I wish my boss was here. Well, you know, the terrific thing is their boss is here. And so now it's a matter of, you know, some people talk about it, some people do it. Let me encourage you to take some time to think about these and not run back and try to do all 11 things at once. Because I think sometimes what happens is we come back from a meeting and as if we're shot out of a cannon, and people go, oh, give them a couple of days, they'll be back to normal. You know, or we go back and we tell them all the things we're going to do. And then if we don't, they go, oh, you see, we were set up again. Promises made, not fulfilled. So let me just suggest that you just quietly go back, pick out 2 or 3 of these things, and decide to work on them for a week. And then as you see those things working, pick out 2 or 3 more. And just slowly build them into your everyday patterns. Slowly build them into your repertoire so that they become a part of you. And if you do that, I think what you'll find is that your day-to-day management is going to be a lot more fun, it's going to be a lot more rewarding, and you're going to see a lot more accomplishment from your team because you've taken the time to create a climate where they can motivate themselves.